All right. The second is up.
We're back.
Yeah. We only have 30 minutes increments, so we have to catch on there. But yeah, man. The mentors you mentioned, so that's something that we're gonna have to go into a little deeper on another episode. We're gonna get some more details, and then we'll go into it, and probably I'll try and get the video, and we probably could do a reaction video to it. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
A reaction video.
Yeah.
But I haven't learned how to do reaction videos just yet, so it's coming.
Yeah.
The next point that we have is, this connects with mentor too, the value of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And this is talking about our past. So I just want to remind everybody, we're talking about looking back at our past. And in the past, what was the value of the connections, or what was the value of the connections that we made that help us to be the type of person we are today? Mm-hmm. So you have anything to?
Well, you could go first, since I always go first. So the value of connection. So what value? So what value you could look back at of connections that you made, either good or bad? Because even bad ones,
it's still a connection.
It's still a connection, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what value did you learn from those, or whatever value you have from those connections?
See, for when it comes to the connection, right? Like for me personally, I'm always a homebody, so I was like home mostly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I didn't, even though I had friends, like. Basically, outside of school, I didn't really have those type of connections, But when I was in school, that's where mostly I had the connection, because when you're in school, that's where you start creating your own bonds and you creating your own community, and even in church, because like that was a major part of my life. And the friends that I made in church was the ones that I started, developing and growing with.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's more on a negative side, that because I spend most of my time basically by myself, I didn't have those type of connections. And not only that too, when I was making those connections, I'm always leaving, So when I was in Jamaica and I was making connections with my friends at school.
Yeah.
So I went from first grade in primary to like third grade in primary, and I was making those bonds and those connections, and then I left and came here. So now it's start over. Then I start over at Sunshine Elementary School in Miami, and I start over in third grade, and then they held me back a year. So the connection I made in that third grade, I made that because they held me back. Those friends left, and I had to start over again.
Right,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Then it's just like I was always moving, so I never had those close knit friends that nothing changed. Yeah. Because even as I got closer to my friends when I went to Pines Middle in Miami, made those connections, and was really getting connected with a group of guys that we started, because we all was in the same neighborhood, so we started hanging out. Yeah. Then I moved from there and I came to Orlando. You know what I mean?
You was always
always moving, so it was hard to make those deep connections. And even in Orlando, I went to Gotha Middle for the latter year, the last year. But then I ended up going to a different school. So it's just like, with all the change, I never, some people say, man, I have my friend since we were in kindergarten.
I was about to say that. I was about to go there. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy. Like, for me, it's like, it's never like that, because everything always changed with me. So for me, in the past, it wasn't there, but it would have been vital to my development and my social upbringing. Yeah. So because of that, I don't really have that. But like what I realize now is that there's importance in connection. Yeah. There's importance in community, and it's important also to create a network of people around.
There you go.
So questions to you.
Man, I got too many connections. I think I was a people person before I knew I was a people person. but I didn't never know it. I thought I was more of a quiet, laid back homebody, which I'm not homebody. Well, now I am. Get older, you're like, man, it's 9 o'clock and I need to go home.
yeah.
You're like, yeah, man, the older you get, but the connections I have, like I probably mentioned from the previous episode, I have a friend that I grew up with in church.
Yeah.
To this day, he's my best friend since we was like, I was 5, and he was like, I think, is he older than me? I think he about 5 or 6. Yeah, he about a year older than me. To this day, we still, but he's seen every phase, just like I seen every phase of his life. I mean, he's seen every phase of my life. He's seen it. He's seen the thuggish George. I mean, the thing you like, wait a minute, what? Who is this guy? Like,
so he see the froze George, the lock George,
the
bald George,
the bald George. He's seen all of it, man. And seen the only other person that's seen a older phase of me is my wife, of course. We've been together since high school. That connection too.
Yeah,
that's a connection.
I always hear people talk about, yeah, man, I married my high school sweetheart. I'm like,
man.
Yeah,
that's prehistoric now. You say that, they like, what? I hear that all the time. What? Like, yes, I married my high school sweetheart, and even through, she's seen my phases, from being a party head, meaning when she first met me, was I a party head? Yeah. I wasn't too much, but I'm 16, 17, 18, still going out to 21-year-old clubs. How did that happen? Mama, you ain't hear nothing.
Mom's close your ears.
But those times, she seen every process of me because I was trying to find myself.
Right.
But she's seen something in me, and she told me that she's seen something in me that she knew was way than the current situation that she's seen at that moment, and she stuck with me, you know. And I have those my two major. Yeah. And of course, I got my siblings. Yeah. We all have our siblings. Those type of relationships, different phases. Some just don't change. In our view, because we sibling and we really close, and we just always go back and forth beating. We're like, we not 5 or 6 no more. We like 30 something. Yeah. Why we going back and forth, man? Let's just change. Yeah. You know, those different things. But those type of connections I could go from my friends to me meeting people at work that I still go back and forth with, has taught me, I didn't know that, how to really value different people from where they at and who they are. Like, I got white friends, I got Asian friends, I have like a mixture of friends that I talk to on a daily too now. I'm always at the gym, and I meet a lot of connections from there in those past. That's part of my past too, in the gyms. That's what I meant, a lot of networking. Like he was saying earlier, just a network of people. I have prosecutors that I know. I have judges. Yeah. I have state troopers. I have business owners. Connection. Like, they gave me numbers and said, this is what they told me. I said, they should have never did that. They said, if
call me anytime.
Yeah, if you ever get a ticket or anything, if it's by, call me. I said, you said what? Say that again? Let me record it. You said it. You said this now. But I'm not going to really.
I know he said that, but he's not going to take advantage of his friend, okay?
I'm not going to do that.
Friends don't take advantage of friends.
I'm not going to do that. I would never do that, man. Even though it might get attempted. I'll be like, I got a $300 ticket, man. Do I want to pay this?
Oh,
but
man.
Just those connections, man, and even the ones that I was partying with, man, and now we're in a different phase as grown men that we could look back and joke on the stuff that we did back then, and it's just valuable just to have those. And now you're gonna have some connection that was never connection. They were just a phase.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I do have to go back and say, like, the longest friend that I have was from high school, and was from ninth grade. You know, so you know, he and I have been friends. We keep in contact. You know, every now and then I pop in and out of his house, and it's good to have that connection. You know what I mean? But I know. And I value that, you know, because it's basically the main one that I have.
There you go.
You know, everybody else has all these different friends from long time ago.
Yeah.
He would be my one of my longest friends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like we're just like brothers. You know what I mean?
That's great.
And it's just like, you know, this is a good thing.
It is.
You know,
and that's why we was made for it, man.
Yeah.
Is we all need each other. We wasn't brought in this earth to be alone.
Yeah.
We need people. That's just what it is.
We're social beings.
We're social, and I know it's a thing now to talk about people if they not in your circle and all of that. You gonna need a circle your circle gonna always be jacked up. That's all I just want to say. It's not gonna be always perfect, and I think
your circle should in essence be a little skewed, because the thing is, if you are the smartest person in your circle, you should not be in that circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it should be different levels. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm meaning any how you say it, any emotional.
Oh, like
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, let's say you more of the I get what you said. Like. You have to be the smartest person in the room. If you if you are the smartest person in the room, you need that's different levels of it.
Right.
But you're gonna have those core friends that, you know what I mean. I may not agree with you, but we so close that I have authority. Not authority. I don't want to say that. I have enough.
You have the privilege to correct me. Am I wrong?
There you go.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, you don't need no yes man friend in your life.
Boom, and that won't get to.
Yeah.
You don't need no yes. So your circle, that's what I'm saying, is it shouldn't be all yes man and be perfect.
That's what I meant. You shouldn't be walking on eggshells around your friends. You know, this tiptoeing around subjects. No, you know, if you mess up, they're gonna be like, George, you messed up.
And they're not hating on you.
You're not hating on you.
And you gotta understand the value of those relationships. If Mike, if you tell me something, I know where you're coming from.
Right.
And then it's like a correction or a criticism.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take those and know, because it's not your heart intent to what?
To hurt.
Boom.
Right.
But a lot of people like that.
No.
And I can understand why, because I always have to question. I'm always the type of guy to try to get a deeper understanding of, man, why you always on defense when I say something?
Yeah.
Even me, I get sometime on defense on certain stuff, and I have to get back like, man, why am I always on defense? Like, oh, something in the past happened.
Yeah.
But I'm carrying on to somebody that don't know my past.
Yeah.
While I'm doing that. He don't know my past.
Yeah.
I should share it if I trust him enough. And like, hey man, this is what happened in my past, so you get a better understanding. So you can understand if I come a certain way. Oh,
this is where it stemmed from, you know. And then the good thing about it is, for you to have enough accountability to say, if it presents itself, check me on it. So now you are giving that person that authority or that privilege to check you on it. And it's not, just as you say, it's not to be mean or to downgrade you or anything like that. It's to just keep you accountable. You know?
There you go. And it's the same. You're going to always have that too now in your circle. I don't know how to say it. Well, I'm going to say it like this. It's going to always, you know how at church they say, you're going to always have a Judas in your circle. It really, that's just what it is. It's like, it's going to always be that person. You didn't even know it in that moment. Like, all those years that they was envy and jealous of you. And you didn't even talk about it. You didn't tell. I'm thinking we cool. Like, we okay at a certain point. But it hit a mark somewhere in our lives together, knowing each other. Something hit a mark to that other person, start looking at the other person differently without them knowing. I'm thinking, man, like me and you, if I had something like, oh, Mike did this, oh, he done graduated, PhD, nah, he's Dr. Mike. In my head, this is what's going on. Now I'm looking at you different. Yeah. You think he better than me? I just got a high school diploma. So you think he better than me? It's not even all that.
It's not. You know? And the thing is, it's like, we have to learn to get to a certain point in our life that Judas has his purpose.
Yeah.
Judas has his or her purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And then the thing is, you cannot take that to heart. When it shows itself, you still love him. Because the thing is, Jesus didn't hit on Judas.
No.
You know?
He knew it was in the room. He knew.
Do what you have to do. But this is why, this would be a different topic, but this is why discernment is also needed.
Yeah.
That would be a different topic.
That would be a different, man. We could even dig into that, man, because he said one of y'all gonna betray me. Mm-hmm. He already knew. Why he said that, though? Why he said that to, it didn't say it in the Bible, but this is my assumption or my opinion. I think he said it so people could check their heart intent of the relationship they had with him. That's what I say. That's what I used to always read it. I'm like, why he said it? I'm like, oh.
It could be that, and it could be that Jesus wanted Judas to know that I know that you're going to betray me. And even though even though I know, I'm not going to sell you out, because Peter was quick with that.
Oh yeah.
He was quick with that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But the next point that we have is, in looking back, what do you think the value of having a form of faith is? From your past to form your present.
Man, listen. I'm gonna be honest, with the faith growing up in the church, even though growing up in the church I didn't really know what church meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the Bible meant. I couldn't read thou shalt seek thou, and I couldn't read that. I like, what? I don't know this language. I like, man, and I was just repeating and reciting to this point now. I repeat and recite old Psalms 23. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Creole. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to digging in me. And I used to say it when I used to go through stuff in the times that I was clubbing, doing what I was doing out there. God knows what. I was in, man. That'd be another story. I'm going to really share my transparent story because I love to share it. But even those moments, it grabs me back, and I'm repeating. I'm drunk as heck. Repeating and praying. And I'm like, man, get me out of this, God. I promise you, man. Hey, I'll be right the next day, man. Come on, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? But those connections of me growing up and having the faith of God, even though I ain't know nothing about the Bible, I didn't know nothing about.
But your mother knew.
My mother knew. But she put that in me.
Yeah, she put that in me.
Until I had to realize, okay, I need to find out what this God is about in my life. Mm-hmm. And what is this? Is he real? I already knew he was real.
Yeah.
That's another story. I knew it was in my culture, if you Haitian, y'all know, it's a devil, and it's because the Haitian culture practice voodoo. Mm-hmm. Not all, but most of Haitian culture, that what everybody, when you hear Haitian, oh, you do voodoo? No, man, I don't do voodoo, but we are known for that.
You gotta clarify yourself each time, man.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, man. But just to see stuff, I seen stuff when I was younger, and I probably won't share it on here because y'all gonna be like, nah, it ain't right. You lying. Y'all think it's spooky. But those things helped me as I grew to the man now to understand faith is my life support. To life.
I like that.
For real. It's like really my life support. It's like I can't fall into myself. I am a flawed person. I can't fall to my wife. I can't fall to Mike. I can't fall to my best friend. Like fall back to somebody. I can't fall back to them. Yes, they're gonna help me and be a helping hand, but I need somewhere else, a place that's supernatural, that's not seen but is seen if y'all understand what I mean, spiritual people, it's seen in the moment that I could fall back and say, this is who I trust my life with. I trust God. God, you brought me here for a reason, so who else I'm finna trust but you? So that faith, man, is really, like that quote, faith is my life support for real, man.
Yeah.
So.
And the reason why I posed it the way I did, the value of having a form of faith, is because some people, it might not be God, it might not be Buddha, it might not be, all these other forms of religion or religious belief or cultural religious belief, but it could be even in themselves or the power of money.
Yeah.
It's just like there are things that people believe, and those things become the driving force in their life. And I think, when we have that give us a form of focus. You
gotta answer the same thing. I'm not the interview.
I like to interview.
I know, man. I don't want this to be.
So for me personally, right, Christianity was the major faith that I subscribed to, and that was a major part of my life growing up. And honestly, like, I believe that kept me from becoming a different type of person. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, because a lot of and the thing is, Christianity should give you liberty, should give you freedom, but based on the stuff that I learned, it was more so a lot of fear. You know what I mean?
A lot.
I didn't want to go to hell. So there was a lot of things that I didn't do growing up because I was afraid of going to hell. You know what I mean? So it kept me out of a lot of circles growing up. You know what I mean? And I'm still thankful for it. And a lot of people say, well, you didn't really get to live your life because you didn't get to do all these different things. But I hear people share stories about all the things that they experienced and all the trauma that came with it. And I'm like, I'm thankful that I didn't get in those situations and I'm where I am. You know what I mean? But now I'm getting to the point in my faith where it's not fear, but more so, to have that freedom in doing things and understanding the guidelines that's written in the Bible in order to accomplish what's best for my life.
There you go.
But back to the question, I believe that having a form of faith is very vital in your growth to bring you to where you are now, because it gives you some form of structure or some form of a foundation to build on. You know what I mean? And if you don't believe in anything, then your life would be so wayward. You're like, you're here one minute and you're there the next, So I believe having some form of faith is vital in growing up, and for you to think back in your past on what the things that you held on to bring you to where you are now. Yeah.
Even the people that don't believe in God, that's a faith.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. They think, I'm an atheist. That's a form of faith.
Yeah, because you believe that there is no God.
No God, and you believe in yourself, and you are the higher being.
And then if you are an atheist, you might want to put a comment in there, but my understanding is believe that there is no God, believe that after death that's it, there's nothing. But to me, that's a form of faith, because this is what you believe in.
That's what you believe in. So
whatever
whatever you believe in, that's what your power, whatever power you give into in your mindset in that moment, that's what you really developing and practicing. So
So based on our topic, looking back on our past, do you have any? Because we went over our 5 points already. Do you have anything else that you want to share or to highlight before we go?
Man, I just don't want to go into no tear jerking, because I'm going to share it in other areas and stories of whenever we go into the topic of depression, because that was like in suicide, because I almost committed suicide. I go into that story in a later episode, and the man it had actually made me become. Yes, I still go through depression sometimes, but people would never notice it, or I don't go through anxiety, but I go through some type of form of depression sometimes, and that's most men do, that I hear, and I think I like, oh, well, I'm not alone in this. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Because as men, we always want to be better than we was yesterday. That's my drive now. And so when I'm not at a certain place at now, I sometimes could get there, but I know how to snap out of it. Versus when I was younger, I wanted to just take my life and just say, you know what? It's time to go, man. Because I'll give y'all the story the next time. But just looking back, man, like with Dad, and looking back of I'm still here, and I still have value in this life, in this earth, to really give. And right now, I just want to continue giving as I'm sharing. That's part of my purpose, is to continue giving until my last breath, meaning giving my time, giving in resource, giving in whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing in this lifetime, and continue just doing that. But that driving force of looking back just make me want to drive even further, to be more positive, to be try to happiness could be very broad, but to always have that joy, and I know where my joy comes from, and keep driving and keep executing, because
we have to keep pushing forward,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard, and this is really why with this topic it makes so much sense to me, is when you look back, looking back, if you learn that there is trauma, get therapy.
Oh yeah.
If you learn that there is something that is bothering you, you got to get help for those things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Gratitude, to write those things down. These are the things that I'm thankful for, because in your moment of feeling down, to just go back and to read those things over. I'm thankful for this, and this. You know what I mean? It kind of, I believe that can help pull you out of that state that you're in.
Yeah.
So it's vital to look back, to learn from, to grow, to develop, and keep pushing forward. And each time you keep doing, what did you learn in 2020 that you would want to change, that you can change in 2021? 2021 is almost over, so in 2022 you're going to look back in 2021. What did I do in 2021 that I could have done differently moving forward? And the thing is, enjoy life, travel, meet people, make connections, you know what I mean? It's just like, life is so short. We have to do the best we can with what we have.
It's short. It's short.
Yeah.
But I want y'all to do this for us on the comments. What have you learned? Just short. You don't have to go crazy. What when you look back at your life, what have you learned, and what value that it has become for you in this time? That's your current state. So put it down, man. I know sometimes y'all don't like to engage too much. But engage with us, brothers. Engage with us.
Well, I want to thank you guys, and I want you to like,
share,
comment,
follow,
subscribe. Follow, subscribe,
follow, all of that.
And here's a quote, guys. My yesterday shapes my today. My today shapes my future. Be safe, guys.
Be safe.
Love
Take
y'all.
care.
Blessings.
Peace.